Hello folks, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about a little bit of a tricky subject, and that is ableism as it comes to healing piercings. Now, I'm going to preface this video by saying that I don't know that I'm going to get everything perfect in this sentiment right away. This is sort of me exploring some thoughts and feelings that I've had surrounding how we discuss healing piercings in the industry and in the piercing community, and the way it makes me feel as someone who does struggle to heal because of physical disabilities that I have. So I find that there is like a heavy value judgment that's placed on how you heal piercings. If you heal really good, if there's not a lot of bumps, if you don't deal with irritation or migration, you're good at having piercings and you're a good healer. And sometimes we treat that as like, oh, you got lucky, or oh, you did so good with that. But when people have a bad time with their piercings, or they struggle to heal things, or their healing process is difficult, there's irritation bumps, there's issues, there's migration, we kind of treat it like they're bad, like their body is bad. And there's this value judgment that comes along with like having problems healing or having a harder time healing, to the point that like I will have people undermine my education, knowledge, and experience as a professional piercer because I have a hard time healing, or because something I'm healing is not healing perfectly. And some of this is, I think, like an internalized judgment. I have clients who come in all the time and they're like, I've got a bump on my helix and I like feel really guilty and bad about it, and I've been avoiding coming in because I didn't know what to do or I didn't know what to say about it, and I have to reaffirm, like, I want you to come in and see me. This is a safe space. I'm here to help, things like this. And I see the value judgment they're placing on themselves because they weren't able to heal it easily or perfectly, or they had a problem, or whatever the case may be. But I really see this value judgment placed online and in the comment section on TikTok or Reddit or Instagram. If someone posts a picture and their piercing doesn't look completely perfect, there are people in the comments telling them that they're doing things wrong, that they're messing up, that things are unhealthy. God forbid I post a video with one of my cheek piercings looking a little irritated, or when I had an allergy attack and I had to lengthen my high nostrils because my nose was so swollen, and my comments for days will be filled with, well, why should I listen to you? Your piercing doesn't look perfect. Why should I listen to you? Your cheek piercing is irritated. Ugh, how could anyone take advice from a professional who doesn't heal everything perfect? And I don't want to discount that there is a level of like skill and well done piercing and proper quality jewelry and proper aftercare that comes along with having like a healthy, happy piercing. And in general, we would like to take advice from people who can like clearly successfully do this. However, there's more than that goes into healing a piercing. And some people, like myself, have medical conditions that make it hard. I have psoriasis. It's an autoimmune-based skin condition. It affects the skin all over my body, and it really affects how my body heals wounds. And piercings are a really big psoriasis flare-up trigger for me, along with cold weather and not enough sunlight. I'm just a little plant with anxiety deep down, you know? It makes healing things really hard. It makes healing tattoos hard, piercings, surgical incisions, cuts, scrapes. I really struggle with it. And my healing has only gotten worse since starting testosterone, thanks to a lot of the changes that are happening on my skin and my body. I have a physical condition that makes it very hard for me to heal. So yes, my piercings do eventually heal. I can show you 2 absolutely beautifully healed rooks, a perfectly healthy, perfectly happy industrial, a cheek piercing that looks gorgeous, a huge stretch septum that's great. If I get a new nostril piercing or a new helix, it's gonna have bumps, it's gonna have problems. I'm probably gonna have some psoriasis flare-ups around it while it's healing. I mean, gosh, I got flare-ups in my eyebrows when my bridge was healing for like the full first year. It's how my skin and my body reacts. And the fact that we put this big, heavy value judgment on not healing piercings well, to the point that we discount disabled piercers who are fantastic educators and incredibly knowledgeable simply because they're disabled, or we go in people's comment section and feel comfortable passing some pretty harsh judgments on people just because their piercing doesn't look completely perfect in that moment. I don't know, it's never really sat well with me. And I've seen increasingly more of this occurring in online spaces, to the point that I wanted to make a video and I wanted to talk about it. I think we as a community and we as an industry could do a lot better to hold compassion and understanding for the different ways that different bodies heal. And that we as piercers especially could do better at educating our clients and reaching out and showing people online and through social media, hey, not everyone is going to heal exactly the same. Certain medical conditions, certain skin conditions, certain disabilities, certain medications might impact how you heal piercings. And there's nothing wrong with you if it does. It is not the end of the world if you get a bump on your piercing. It is not a value judgment against you as a person if something ends up migrating. Piercers, of course, are going to do everything we can in our best interest to make sure that you don't have those experiences during healing, that your healing is as smooth and as easy as it could possibly be. But I think we also need to be realistic that that's just not going to be the case for every piercing and every person. And we could be more mindful of our language and interactions surrounding this and how we communicate to folks some of the regular risks and side effects that come with healing and some of the different things that can affect it. You might think I'm overreacting making this video and be like, Lynn, some people have a hard time. It's not a big deal. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the people who just don't do what they're supposed to and don't wear good jewelry and have bad piercings. And it's like, the language you use in those interactions affects everyone. And I know I've spent a lot of my career feeling really insecure because I have psoriasis, because I have a hard time healing, because even before I started taking HRT, I was a side sleeper and I struggle with mental health issues, and I'm not always the most responsible or diligent with my piercings, and sometimes that means that they don't look so great. And I've felt for so long that that somehow undermines my knowledge or my experience or my ability or my trustworthiness as a piercer. And it's only in recent years that I've found confidence that it doesn't. And in fact, it gives me an added perspective to be able to help other clients who have healing issues. So I hope in that being open about my own struggles, folks out there watching feel less alone and feel more seen. But I also hope that we can start a conversation about the language we use about this and the value and the judgment that we place on how we heal and the way we communicate and talk to our clients, to other people online, and the way we educate on social media about this subject. But I do feel like there are some ableist undertones to the judgments and values we place on piercing healing that make me feel not great and make me worry that other disabled clients and folks who want to get pierced or want to get tattooed or want to do this stuff don't feel welcome in this space because they don't feel like there's a place for them if they're going to potentially have a hard time healing or not healing perfectly. And I don't like that. I'm very curious to hear people's thoughts in the comments down below on this one, and hear people's opinions. And yeah, it's just something that's been rattling around in my mind for a while that I really felt compelled to at least start a conversation about. Anyway, thanks for hanging out and listening to me chat about this today, and I can't wait to sit down and talk with y'all again next week. Bye!